I made this online coach Florian over $507,000 in revenue in a single month, but what's even crazier is we did that by changing one thing. And it's not sales, it's not marketing, and it ain't social media.
How much did you make last month exactly?
507K order volume, and cash collect was about 310K.
Now in my business, we had implemented this one thing already in 2022, and it was one of the factors why we cracked the $10 million cash collected in 2023. This one thing is, drum roll, client delivery. Now I know this sounds super duper boring, but hear me out. Oftentimes, it's the client delivery that keeps us from scaling our coaching business. We get scared. What if I have more clients than I can handle? And then they get mad, or they will ask for refunds, or God beware, even leave bad reviews. So this client delivery is exactly what you will learn in this very video.
The problem was, before we came to you, we made a lot of money, but we came to limits in fulfillment. We could not scale more than, we had more than 100 clients a month, I think, and in fulfillment we got to the limit. We cannot accumulate more customers.
Hell, if you're new to the online coaching and you wish you'd get more clients, you don't even have the luxury problem of having too many, this will actually get you more clients because it speeds up the rate through which your clients get results and give you referrals and give you testimonials. Therefore, stay till the end because I will screen share with you our very own internal documents that help you implement our 8-figure client delivery system. Plus, you get a literal template that you can download. In fact, it was Peter Drucker who once said, what gets measured gets improved. So I kind of thought, we already measure our sales team's performance. We got the KPIs, we got weekly projections, etc. How come we don't have that, A, for our clients, and B, our delivery team too? So the idea of ascension stages was born. Now, before we get into that, what do you even need to implement ascension stages? Well, you're probably having a high-ticket coaching or consulting or service providing offer, meaning you're charging multiple $1,000s. You probably have some sort of group coaching implementation in there, which means you have a video course plus, weekly group calls, multiple group calls per weekend, so on and so forth. What you need to do is you need to take these essential stages and everything I'm going to show you here today, and you need to adhere that to one-on-one coaching. If you're just in the beginning and you say, I'm only myself anyways, I teach everybody one-on-one, great. If not, the way we do it is the following. I have a certain amount of CSMs, client success managers. These are my co-coaches, these are accountability coaches. And each and every one of them gets a certain amount of clients that they need to take care of. Now, each and every client, regardless of what CSM they have as their one-on-one coach, has access to our video course, has access to our 7+ live calls per week, and they all have access to our community. So now a lot of the information will be given to your clients via your video course, via the weekly live calls, and so on and so forth. But the one-on-one aspect is there to hold your clients accountable and to give them feedback and just to be there as a general support when clients get stuck. So I'm assuming you have all these things already in place. Now, this is how you can make sure that every client gets amazing one-on-one results, and at the same time, you can do this with hundreds of clients. Ascension stages is where we're going to start. Ascension stages, aka ascension points, help you do exactly that. Measure and track your client success so you can continuously tweak and improve your delivery. Ascension stages also help you keep your coaching team accountable, create predictable marketing results, such as reviews, testimonials, etc., as well as upsells. There's two kinds of ascension stages within any good coaching program. That is, number one, client results ascension stages. For example, starting point A, where your clients come in, they've just got onboarded. If you're a fitness coach, for example, they're overweight, they're lazy, they have no energy, they have no muscle mass. Then what they do is they go through ascension stages 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth. These are basically milestones that a client has to go through in order to go from point A to point B. Point B being the end result that they will achieve with your help of your program. Meaning, they lost a lot of weight, they gained muscle mass, they're happier, they're happy clients, they want to stay with you forever. That's point B. And in between are ascension stages. Company results ascension stages are the other kind of ascension stages. These are things like, did the client leave a review? Did the client go on an interview to report on their awesome success? Did they get an upsell? And so on and so forth. And the way we track this is simply by having our CSM master sheet template here. And this is something you can download. I'm gonna link it down in the description below if I don't forget. And the way this works is very simple. It looks complicated, but it isn't. Up here you have the calendar week of each and every week of the year. Here you have the essential stages, which you would fill out yourself. So essential stage 1 would be, for example, onboarding. Essential stage 2 would be client filled out their onboarding sheet. Essential stage 3 would be client established their macros. Essential stage 4 is client went grocery shopping. Essential stage 5, client started signing up for the gym. Essential stage 6, client did the first week of clean eating. Essential stage 7, client did the first 2 workouts, and so on and so forth. Depending on how detailed you want to measure it, that will be how many essential stages you'll have. Then, of course, once they're through the program, they've gone through all milestones, all essential stages, the next stage would be, has that client been scheduled for an upsell call? Has that client been upsold to the next, more advanced program? Or maybe are they inactive and need to be followed up, need to be held accountable to be brought back to the program? Or do they need to be offboarded because they finished and they're happy? On top of that, the CSM who's responsible for this is also responsible for getting a review from certain clients, or referrals from certain clients, or even testimonials from certain clients. The way this is being filled out is the following. It's again much simpler than anything. Down below here, you see writers for each and every coach in your delivery team. Coach 1, let's say for example, John Doe. John Doe goes ahead and says, okay, we're in week 38 right now, it is Monday, and for this week I project so and so many clients to hit each and every essential stage. And out of all the clients that I'm taking care of, that I'm responsible for, whatever, 2 are gonna hit essential stage 1, 3 are gonna hit essential stage 2, 1 is gonna hit essential stage 3, and so on and so forth. So I'm just gonna make up random numbers here. This is what each and every coach in your delivery system projects in the beginning of the week. Now, the difference real quick between projections and goals is projections can be hit even if it's a slow week, even if it's not the best week. They're the minimum that each and every CSM in your team projects to hit. Whereas goals are kind of like nice to have. Like, hey, my goal is to get as many clients as possible to XYZ essential stage. That's not what a projection is. A projection is what they can guarantee deliver within each and every given week. Then they say, let's say, okay, scheduling 2 upsell calls, getting 1 upsell in, probably 0 offboarded. We have 0 being inactive right now. I'm gonna get 2 reviews, 1 referral, and 1 testimonial. Now, what we do, generally speaking, is we have daily meetings before our coaching team gets to work. These are conducted by our head of CSMs. If you don't have a head of CSM yet, because you're a smaller company, you're the head of CSM. So make sure you have daily touch points, daily meetings, and every Monday and Friday, we have each and every CSM update their projections, and obviously we want to make sure that they reach them. That is where this little R column here comes in handy. So P stands for projected by the beginning of the week, and R is then the number that they've reached by the end of the week. So let's say John here, our CSM, has hit almost all their projections. He's at 4 here. Maybe he overshot this one 7. He undershot this one 2 here, 0 here, and so on and so forth. And as you can see here on the side, it actually gives you a percentage of how many of his projected values he or she has actually reached. And then down below and at the bottom, you will then actually get a total of that week. So John here crushed it with 94% reach rate of his projections. This sheet then actually also summarizes the total for all the coaches, which is absolutely fantastic. And then you can always see throughout the entire year how well someone has been sticking to their projections. It's pretty cool. Now, that's the idea behind the essential stages. You might say now, all right, Max, this tracking stuff is epic, but how the hell can I, or my coaches or my delivery team, implement that exactly? Like, I get the numbers, but how do we have our clients be motivated and go through everything? And how does my staff communicate with my clients? Well, ask no more, because I call this task the Tornow accountability system. Shout out to myself. So the cool thing about the Tornow accountability system, generally speaking, it is a must for B2C offers. I recommend that to everybody that's in a B2C niche. For B2B offers, I would have the tasks implemented, but I would adjust the intensity to each client. Because businesses that are usually a little bit more sophisticated, they need less hands holding. But generally speaking, look, we're not in 2015 anymore, all right? You're constantly competing against identical offers, new offers that are constantly emerging. You're competing against scam offers that sound sexier than your offer, and they're taking away clients from you and they're burning them. Plus, you might be put into the same category as these scam offers. So you gotta shine, you gotta stand out by absolutely over-delivering, and the task will be super duper helpful. Plus, you can use that task for fence sitters in your closing calls. Imagine, for example, you have someone in your closing call, they've purchased from a competitor of yours, they've been burnt by them, they basically get scammed by them, and they're like, yeah, they all say they're gonna help me, but then eventually I just get shoved into some group coaching and nobody cares about me. There you can say, well, we actually adhere to the task, the Tornow accountability system. That means we're doing everything one-on-one. Everybody gets an essential stage that they need to get through per week, and you're being held accountable. Plus, we have one-on-one, and so on and so forth. So it's really freaking epic, actually. And a lot of times that can help those fence sitters then eventually sign up for you, anyways. The philosophy behind the task is pretty simple: passive versus active leadership. I mentioned this before. A lot of these group coaching BS, I just want to make money and don't care about my clients offers, they're all passive leadership. They basically say, look, you purchased my program, come to us if you have questions, join the live calls. If you can't do them, good luck, not my problem. What we actually adhere to is active leadership, meaning we reach out to our clients when they're not executing. We actually check in with them. In fact, we check each and every client and we ask them about their preferred way of being held accountable: daily, weekly, monthly, bi-weekly, and then we mark that in our calendars. We're active and proactive in literally dragging people across the finish line, because we know, on one hand, this is what it takes nowadays to succeed, especially in our niche, but on the other hand, we also know we always want to over-deliver, because we sell hard, but we deliver even harder. That's kind of like our credo. The history of client support is actually interesting. Back in the days, like whatever, 2013, 14, 15, 16, when I made my first million in 2016, people would just buy information. That was the rise of all these info video courses products, right? Then people started saying, well, if I add group coaching to it and I make it high ticket, it's basically people buy information plus getting the questions answered. But then a lot of people got burned by, really low-hanging fruit people that just slapped a bunch of group calls in there, didn't really care. So nowadays, in 2025 and beyond, it's all about information plus getting questions answered plus active leadership and hand-holding throughout the entire process. That is where we are right now. We also have the kind of we frame. What we've done is we want to make sure that we align our incentives with the incentives of our clients. That is what the essential stages essentially do. Our CSMs, my coaching team, right? They win by pushing more clients through the essential stages, having them progress, and the clients win as well. So by implementing essential stages, we align our values and our goals together with the clients. We win when they win, and we're in this together. We basically want to leave the client with 0 reasons for not succeeding. That now minimizes refunds for you, obviously. It minimizes complaints, obviously, and it maximizes client results, testimonials, positive reviews, which means more cash in your pocket. Everybody wins. So the macro application of the task is, for clients, we have the essential stages, and for you and the coaching team, the KPIs and the projections that your coaching team needs to hit each and every week. Pretty straightforward, right? Now, I know this is a little bit of a dry video here, but I just want you to realize this stuff makes a ton of money, and that's the exact thing that we've implemented with Florian and many of our other advanced clients that help them scale to multiple 6 figures per month, by the way. The micro application of the Tornow accountability system is pretty simple. You always want to talk about next steps, deadline, get into agreement with the client, and you want to have the task communication. I'm going to show you how that works. Super easy. General context. If you're in a B2B niche, like I said, you don't want to be that crazy with the communication. I would adjust the intensity, but we're using this framework because we have a lot of B2C clients in our one-on-one chats, in our one-on-one calls with our clients. The communication guideline is always simple. You start with praise. You always want to praise the client. Depending on the confidence level of your client, you can give them light praise or strong praise. So that could range between, hey, you're crushing it, keep up the pace, or hey, you're doing a really epic job so far. You see, I told you can do this. Together, we're going to keep progressing here for your dream of becoming XYZ. Step number 2 is you want to give them the next 1 to 3 steps as a headline, just a quick overview over what they need to do. This is not where you coach them. This is not where you give them the how-to. This is just where you give them the overview over the next couple steps that you need to do. And most importantly, you're going to give your client the why behind that. Have you ever had that where you told your client what to do, And it was super obvious, but then they didn't do it. And you're like, why didn't you do it? I'm telling you what to do. Well, the reason why they don't do it is because they don't understand the why behind it. So we always try to explain the why, right? Just like I'm telling you here, if you implement the tasks, you will get more money and your clients will be happy, you will minimize refunds and so on and so forth. So when people understand the why, they'll be more inclined to actually do what you tell them to do, which is good for them, it's good for you, it's good for anybody. So we always explain why these next steps are so epic, what the end result will be after these next steps, and so on and so forth. And then we link them the appropriate videos of our program. So again, the information, passing on of the information doesn't happen necessarily in the one-on-one chat or one-on-one calls, because it takes a lot of time. It happens with the video course. So I just have to record the information once, kind of like I'm recording this video right now. But I'm giving the information to the client with the praise, with the context, with why it's important, and now here's the links to the videos, right? What I then do is step 5, I manage expectations. If, for example, the next steps are, they look really simple, but they're gonna take a long time, sometimes people get really frustrated with that. If they expect something to breeze through, but then it's much more difficult, they get frustrated, they start slacking off, they don't go through your program anymore, and they never execute. You don't want that. On the other hand, sometimes it looks like a lot, and they get intimidated by that. They're like, oh my God, I gotta watch 10 videos? Oh my God, I'm gonna procrastinate and therefore jump off the program. You don't want that either. That's why we're managing expectations. So we're gonna tell them, hey, this looks like a lot of work, but it's actually not. Or we tell them, hey, look, this is gonna take you a while, but it's totally fine. I'm here to help you out. We're gonna do this together. Manage expectations. And then of course, I'm gonna give them a deadline. This is usually where I gauge, because I probably know, or my CSMs know how long it will take to execute these next handful of steps. So we say things like, all right, so usually this next step is gonna take you around one afternoon. I know the end of the weeks for you are a bit tighter for you because of your kids or whatever, right? So I suggest we set a deadline for you to implement this step until Monday, 4 p.m. Central European time. Works for you? You set the deadline, you agree together with the client and you confirm it, and then the 8th point is you put the deadline and the necessary steps in your calendar, in your CRM, your client notes, and you also tell your client to put this in their calendar. That is masterful, one-on-one, hand-holding, and together with the essential stages, you can do this with a lot of clients. So that is literally how you can maintain an ultra high quality one-on-one delivery structure in your company, even with well over 300 active clients per month. And that in turn helps you scale up to multiple 6 figures a month.
Because now we have the fulfillment, we have the CSMs, and now every client of us, in the smallest program or in the higher programs, they get one-on-one coachings with us now. Same at you. And before we couldn't do this. So we have better results now and less stress.
So next up, check out this video on social media marketing that will work in 2025 in order to get more clients, and let's scale you together. I'll see you there.